All right, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a Ableton tutorial. You could call it a tutorial. You could call it basically just like a watch along. Um, I just like made a new song for the first time in like a month, and I have all these ideas down. So I thought, like, I have a pretty clear idea of what I want to get done right now. So I thought, yeah, we should go ahead and stream the building of this song. Um, It's so far I have a bass guitar line. I have guitar and drums for the song that I am working on here. So let's go ahead and get started immediately. I'll actually start by kind of showing like the parts that I have. So on my loop mixer here, I recorded all my instruments, and they're kind of as a loop right now. So I'll show you what the song sounds like here. My bad. I played it through the wrong source here. Just give me one sec. Actually, you know what? Might as well. We'll just start loading this up in Ableton. Um, so I'm going to go here into arrangement view rather, and over here in these folders I have contained all the sounds. So yeah, it'll be easier like this. I was trying to play it directly off of my mixer, but I don't think the feed is going into my streaming software here. So things to keep in mind: I set my BPM to 95 for the song on my mixer. Ableton detected 94.98, so at least it's close enough. It's not too bad. Okay, so now I think we should be able to hear it. Oh yeah, actually there's two drums I did, so I'm going to take that out. Okay, so here it goes. Oop. Yeah, so it's just bothering me. I could hear that stuff is off time, and I know why. I think it could be partly because this actually does have to be set to exactly 95. Okay, let's see here. No, that didn't help. I know what we could do. And this is actually a good lesson, because whenever you load sounds into Ableton, Ableton does its damnedest to get the BPM right. So, like as you saw just now, it was at 94.98. It's supposed to be at 95. So I custom set it to 95 and it's still not in time. So we're going to have to just turn off warp on these tracks. So all you have to do is double click on your track and then you'll see this yellow warp here. And then just click that off and they will all line up accordingly. At least they should. So let's go ahead and there you have it. So I'm going to go ahead and actually spread the word a little bit here, see if I could get some people coming through. But I hope everyone's having a good day. If anybody's watching, please comment. Just also so I could hurry up here. Not hold you guys too long. But I am actually thinking of perhaps re-recording the guitar on here, just because, as you can tell so far, you can tell it's just simply it's not clean. Like there isn't like effects on it. So I was thinking of perhaps re-recording it clean. that will allow me to further manipulate it as I want, rather than kind of being stuck with what I already recorded. Alright, so I just putting the word out. Okay. So we could go ahead and begin. So, like I said, I have like a general idea as far as hi Mary, it's good to see you here. Thank you for the comment. But yeah, as far as like the composition of the song, I would like to start with the guitar on its own. So let's go ahead and yeah, so you see how it changes about halfway through. So I think I'm gonna have the first part of the song repeat a few times. Yeah. Sorry, I'm sharing this video, man. Gotta get some people coming through. Anyway, yeah, so I think right off the bat, I know that I want to just this part. And then I'm gonna duplicate that and then stretch this out, and then let's see what we should do next. I think I'll just put bass in. Add it on solo. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's something I want to do here. So I'm going to get rid of this. Because basically I do that same bass line 3 times in a row, but then the last time I do it, the end has a variant. And I think I want that variant to actually show up at this part. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. Alright, there we go. Okay. And I think I'll duplicate that. Okay, and now here I just want the bass on its own. Perfect. You guys know what I'm going for. Okay. Yes, yes. Yes, indeed. Oops. Okay, okay, okay. So let's see here. Let's listen to the whole thing. Yeah, so okay, sounding okay so far. I want a little more emphasis on when our drums come in. Holy smokes, it's loud. Okay, let's turn that down. So yeah, I mentioned earlier that I recorded 2 drums. I have another one in like halftime, at least for the first part. Let's see what the difference might be here. Oh yeah, I was like, wait, why is it going off time? The reason being that I didn't take warp off the sound. Okay, so let's go back a Perfect. Okay, cool. So, you know, I definitely have a lot more ideas as far as the arrangement goes. Oops, didn't mean to do that. For now, I'm going to go ahead and start EQing. Yeah. And I'm still not 100% sure if I'm going to stick with this guitar. I like it, but I kind of want to have it clean. I still really like the sound, though. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start adding some, you know, some stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and add like reverb, especially because like at this part, you see how the guitar just disappears. Like there's no gracefulness whatsoever. So that's one thing that will help if I get reverb. So as you can see, I'm headed to the panel on the left side here. You'll have a whole bunch of options. I'm just going under audio effects, and then, you know, there's reverb and resonance. And by the way, I'm using Ableton Live 11. I forgot to mention that. I don't think I've actually used this version on these videos because it released like a month ago. But yeah, so things do look a little bit different. I think this folder was not called reverb and resonance before. I don't think it was. But anyway, if you're using Ableton Live 11, that's where you're going to find all of the reverbs, or whatever it is you would like. Just open up your reverb folder, and you have types of reverb, whether you want a hall reverb, room reverb, whatever it might be. I'm just going to go for like a concert hall. That's always my just default, like when I'm just putting together a track. It always gives me a good idea of what I'm going for here. So let's see the difference. 100 times better. Maybe a little. I mean, it's just I like the part where the guitar stops, but I don't know if I generally want that. Still deciding between these drums here. Let's do one more check. And I took warp. Okay, cool. Perfect. Yeah. So I guess I like the quarter note hi-hats better, so we'll stick with that. Even though I'm not crazy about how the recording came out, so I'm probably gonna have to re-record those drums, which is cool. We're just getting things pretty much started here. So I just threw on a concert hall onto the drums here. I also did forget to mention that I'm basically the dry wet meter is how much reverb you're gonna have, or how much of this type of reverb you're gonna have on it. You never really want it over 50% in most cases, unless you have like a specific reason. But if you're just putting reverb on just to add some, like some nice sound or whatever, this is a good way to go about it. Hi Murray, thanks for the comment. I hope you are enjoying the song so far. It's definitely got a lot of work to do, but gotta start somewhere. Okay, so now that we added some reverb and things are sounding a little more, less flat, let's go ahead and try this one. So, oh yes, and of course, as I do every time, I forgot to label things. So we'll go just simple guitar, bass, drums. Kind of hate that I have to have a whole track for this crash, but gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. Yeah, so now next I'm going to go ahead and start EQing. So we'll start with the guitar. and you'll find your EQ settings in a similar section. So again, make sure you're under your audio effects, and then of course there's an EQ folder. And I'd like to use EQ8. Basically, it gives you 8 values that you can change with any EQ setting that you find in this folder. So the more EQ settings that allows you to manipulate, the better or the more accurate you could get the sound to like how you want it to be. So you could use EQ8. There's also EQ3, which only has 3 ways to manipulate it. But I stick with the 8 because I like to keep my options open. Actually, you know what? I was going to use the stereo effect EQ, but there is actually a specific EQ for electric guitar. So yeah, if you go under EQ8 and then go under instrument, you'll find electric guitar. And yeah, let's see what we can do. So toward the left side, and again, as you can see, there's these numbers labeled like 1. I'm not sure what 2 is. But anyway, these are the 8 options, or at least they're supposed to be 8. It seems just to be, actually, there just seems to be 6 in here. Oh, okay, they're just checked off right now. Okay, so that's fine. So we'll just stick with the 6 settings. But the main things to keep in mind is that on the left side is the lows. So if you go all the way up, like to the left side, you're gonna have high bass. If you turn it down on the left side, your bass will drown out. So I'm basically just going to see where the sweet spot is here for this sound. And sorry, it's also vice versa, like on the right side is your highs, and then in the middle, your mids, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and check it out. So I definitely want to bring up the mid a little bit. It's sounding pretty good. I think my mic's been off for a sec there. I'm really sorry. But, I mean, there's not much for me to have said. You've seen that I've just been pulling these values here. So I turned up the highs a little bit to bring out more of that cleaner sound. The lows were brought up as well for more bass, and the mids were balanced accordingly. So far so good. I'm liking how the guitar sounds. Let's listen one more time. And I don't know if you caught me saying it, but I was demonstrating like turning it off and then turning it back on, like seeing the difference of the sound. We'll try that one more time. Let's see here. It's like a world's difference, right? So this is basically this stage of the production. I'm just going to be doing this with all the instruments. So next we'll go to bass, and bass for me is, you know, it's pretty easy to EQ bass on account of its bass. So you just make it bass heavy. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to loop a little bit of bass here. In case you don't know, whenever you're on arrangement view, which as you can see, I pretty much only work in arrangement view for the style of production I do. But when you are in arrangement view, you'll always have this little guy up here on your, like above your timeline. Just drag it to wherever you would like, make it as long as you would like, and then once you set that, at the top here, there's this little button, this little screen-shaped arrow button. If you just click that, it's a loop. And then you, and because right now we're just doctoring up the bass, I'm going to go ahead and add an EQ. As there is for electric guitar, there's also a bass EQ. There's actually a few that I have. I do have access to the whole native instrument suite, actually. So with that came Solid EQ, which is just like so easy to use. And I also just realized that I put it on the wrong track. I'm still on electric guitar. Just go ahead and cut that and then paste it. Paste it on bass. Okay. And so here's how it looks. That is Solid EQ. Very, very, very simple. So like I said, I don't need anything too complicated because I'm just going for like a bass sound, right? So this, the difference between this and the other EQ I was using for the electric guitar is that for like primarily you're just going to be dealing with these low mid, and high knobs, and that's really all you have to mess with. You can try customizing the other knobs as well, but I don't really find that's too necessary. But we'll go ahead and experiment a little bit. Let's see what we can do with our bass. So I find that the mids, when I turn them up a tiny little bit, it does kind of clear away any kind of muddiness and kind of makes it a little clearer. So I upped on the mids a little bit. I just downed on the high. Again, because it is bass, I kind of want to emphasize the lower parts of that sound. So let's go ahead and see what the difference is between how it was and how it is now. There's certainly a lot more atmosphere on the bass guitar now. However, I do think it's a bit too loud, so I'm actually going to switch to session view. I do find session views better for like looking at your levels and stuff on account is like right in front of you. Whereas if you're in arrangement view, you have to look at like the side at these tiny meters. Like this is my master right here. Like the master is just incredibly small. So when you go to session view, that's your master. So now I have a much better idea of what's going on. So yeah, the bass is obviously too loud, so we're going to go ahead and pull down on that. We just want it just going over the 12 on our meter here. Let's go ahead and check out the guitar as well. So we're kind of, I'm kind of moving on to a different phase. I am going to have to actually EQ a couple other things, but for now I'm just going to spend a minute or so leveling some stuff. So okay, so guitar's too quiet, so there's a couple ways. Okay, so the whenever you put an EQ from Ableton, like an actual Ableton EQ effect, whenever you put any of these onto your track, it actually comes with its own gain meter, which I tend to prefer to use over the built-in gain, which is right here, or alternatively in session view, it's right here, because when you use the Ableton volume meter itself, the highest you can go is only 6 decibels above the actual sound. So I kind of just leave things close to 0 over here. Like there's a few exceptions. I did mess around with it a little bit before. But I'm just going to stick with using the gain on the electric guitar EQ. It raises the gain for the entire sound. It's not like it just raises the gain for like parts of the sound or anything like that. It raises the entire thing, so it's really helpful. So let's get our electric guitar to level here. So I do want the guitar louder than the bass, kind of the midway point between the 0 and the 12 here. Obviously, you want to make sure it doesn't clip, which means it goes above the 0. The result of that will be distortion, so your sound will be very unclear, which we don't want. So let's go ahead and make sure that's where we want it. Yes, I'm liking the level, so now let's get off solo and hear it with the bass. Things might kind of get off the rails once the drums come in, so let's go ahead and actually I might just EQ the drums right now before I do the whole leveling stuff. So I'm just going to move my looper to where the drums are. Yeah, so that's in desperate need for EQing. So when it comes to drums, obviously drums isn't necessarily a single instrument, right? Like you have your toms, you have your snare, you have your hi-hat, you have your kick drum. So there actually are EQ settings for each part of the drum set. If you go under EQ8 again, where we were before, and then click on the drums drop down, you have pretty much every part of the drum set that you could hope for. Thing is though, I'm just getting started on this track now. I'm probably going to go more in depth with the drumming EQ later. For now, I'm actually just going to put on kind of what my default tends to be, which is stereo effect. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop that down. And I might also put on, actually, you know what? I might just stick with solid EQ. Let's go ahead and see how that could do for us. Because I kind of just want to do like a quick EQ job for now. I'm not really looking for anything too specific. So as you can see, I copied the exact EQ from the bass, so it sounded all messed up for a sec, but I'm just going to raise up the highs and we should be back in business. I actually really like the low being high there. It sounds kind of bland without the lows being really high. You see what I mean? If you're listening on your phone speaker, you can probably tell the difference. Okay, let's check the low mid. Okay, so it's nice and clear there. As I mentioned, things are probably going to be falling out of whack once the drums come in, because it just gets too loud. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust a few of these things here. So I see we're not getting too close to that 0 there. We don't want to be clipping at this point. So sounding good. Let's see what we could do next here. So we got our EQs done on our instruments. Yeah, let's just start from the top and we'll think about it together. My mic was off again. There's actually something kind of fun that we could do here. So, what I'm noticing, I mentioned earlier that on this particular drum track, I'm not too crazy about how the whole recording came out. In fact, I like how the recording came out for the halftime version of the drums that I did before. It's just that I don't like the half time. So I'm gonna. Okay. So the other thing is that for about this portion, quarter note hi-hats for about this portion. On my other recording, for this same portion, it's half note hi-hats. However, on the half note hi-hats recording, the rest of it is actually the same as this one, and it's better. So I'm just gonna take the half note hi-hat version, and I'm gonna put it after this part, because the rest of it's the same. Again, I don't know if I'm articulating this in a way you could understand, but let me demonstrate. So I'm going to open up my folder. What is this song? So many songs. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is this file here is the halftime or half note hi-hat version. So I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to take that down. So let's see how this works. To plan. Okay, so I just got to get it a little more accurate. Like that. So I hope you get what I did. Like I'll show you the difference here. I'll just Control Z. So if you listen at the beginning, you hear the hi-hat. It's only half notes, and then on this one, it's double, right? So but the problem is that after this part, on this recording, after this part, so all of this I don't like it. So that's why I'm using this one, because everything after this point on this recording actually sounds pretty good, and it works. As you can see, I already got it going here. So we just gotta make sure it sounds as natural as possible, right? So there could be a quick way of going about that, actually. I think we can possibly create a crossfade. Yeah, I don't know. Like, sometimes it doesn't let you create fades, and I never could figure out what the reason is. Like, so I just joined these two clips, right click, and then there's a create fade option, but whatever. It comes to show that I don't know everything about Ableton. But let's see how it sounds. So there's a little bit of awkwardness there. Let's see if there's anything we could do. I think I got it. Okay. Because before, like, because they're two different clips, you could actually hear the skip between the clips. But now I don't think I hear anything. Let's see. Something's off time. Why is it warped? Oh, because I put it back in. Hopefully that doesn't mess it up here. Okay, so sounding great. You know what? That might be about all we need to do for now, because as far as compositionally, I'm not too sure where else to go with what we have right now. But I'm really loving the progress that we made here. So we went ahead, we laid down our tracks, we got our EQ set, we got our levels roughly set. Now it's just to have more fun, like create a more kind of thought out artistic thing here. Whatever, I don't know. But yeah, we'll be back again soon. I'm going to continue on this track, and I'll probably record some more sounds. For anybody who watched, thank you very much, and we'll be back again at some point. Hope you enjoyed the track. Take care, everyone.